I just wanted to relax with you guys today, color in one of these pages, talk about art and my journey, your journey. What does that look like? Hello friends, I hope you are doing well today. I wanted to color a page in one of my favorite adult coloring books, which is Time to Hygge by Jen Racine. It's a really kind of cozy vibes coloring book, very Scandinavian. One of my favorite things about coloring books is that I feel like it makes art really approachable for anyone who wants to do something artistic but either feels that they don't have maybe the confidence or skills or ability to do that yet. The great thing about a coloring book is that it's pretty low stakes. You just need to find one that you like and then something to color it with. Colored pencils, markers, crayons, even paint if you don't mind it bleeding through. This is actually one of my favorite coloring books because a lot of the pages are not too complicated. So sometimes when you pick out an adult coloring book, they can be more on the side of stressful because the details are so fine and so small that I don't find it relaxing to color that much detail. One thing I really like about this is that it's not childish, but at the same time there's plenty of space to kind of use your imagination. Today I'm going to be using colored pencils by a brand that I found on Amazon called Sucolor for about $20, I think. You get 72 pencils. I find them to be nice and creamy, pretty well pigmented. I'll make sure to put a link in the description for these, so if you're interested you can check those out. Not sponsored. And great for projects like this where you want to get decent results, but at the same time you may not want to use the best of the best. You know, using a more affordable pencil may make it feel less intimidating. You may not worry so much about making mistakes, or it might even inspire you to have a little bit more fun and play with colors or shading or patterns that you may not otherwise, because you might be afraid of wasting materials, which I hate to say because I don't think that art materials necessarily get wasted as long as we're using them. I think the bigger waste is actually not using them out of fear or lack of confidence. That's really the biggest shame. So why don't we jump right into this and get started on our page today. Right off the bat, I don't know why, but I feel like this rabbit wants to be blue. I'm not sure if it's because of the Scandinavian folk art vibes or what, but it's just calling out to me to be colored like a nice blue shade. And again, I think this is one of the most fun things about coloring books. You can make things any color you want. It's almost like working in a sketchbook. It's your book to do what you want with, so why not just have fun with it, right? It's just paper. I remember for a long time I felt really intimidated by my art materials. I called it art intimidation. I was so afraid to make something that wasn't good, or make mistakes, or waste materials that I paid good money for. I am thankful that I came to the realization, as I mentioned earlier, the biggest waste is actually not using my art supplies at all. Some things like paint have a shelf life, so they can go bad over time. But even for supplies that don't expire, by putting off using them, I'm not learning anything new or growing as an artist. So really, what could be more of a waste than that? So one question this brings to mind for me is, what is an art supply or a process that you've always wanted to try but never have? Maybe drawing, painting, sculpting. For me, I would say it's probably oil painting. I love watching process videos and tutorials, especially on YouTube. I think they're so satisfying and really soothing to watch. I love seeing how artists mix oil colors together and blend them, and also the way you can get really interesting and crazy textures with oil painting. Oil paintings are always one of my favorite things to look at in museums. They're just so impressive to me. But I think the cost and learning about the right chemicals to use has definitely made me a little nervous to jump right into it. Do you have any experience with oil painting? I would definitely be interested to hear your experience in the comments, or comment on a type of art you'd like to try and maybe why you haven't tried it out yet. I'm definitely very interested in hearing what you have to say. I don't know if you can see these little flowers, but they just remind me so much of sunny side up eggs, and I thought it was funny. It just made me laugh. Just such a random observation for you guys. Another thing I appreciate about a good coloring book is that the drawing is already done for you. So you don't need to worry about drawing something like this rabbit, right? It's already done for you. All you have to do is pick out some colors and just enjoy the process. And even if you already have some art skills under your belt, coloring can be a great opportunity to work on skills like shading or even color theory. I definitely decided to be a little adventurous with color on this page and try out some combinations that I normally wouldn't put together, but I feel like this is a great opportunity to explore color combinations and color theory, and just kind of see how certain colors look next to each other. So, I mean, why not, right? One of the last things I like to do sometimes on my coloring page is just adding a little bit of a background color. I feel like this can give the idea of something in the background, or like these objects have a sense of place and they're not just floating in midair. I don't always do this step, but sometimes I feel like the picture needs some kind of background. So here I am just using this grayish navy color to fill in a lot of the white space, and then just adding a little bit of shadows around our little bunny friend. So here is my finished page. I definitely would not call it perfect, but I did have a lot of fun coloring it and sharing some of my art thoughts with you guys. Thanks so much for sticking with me today. I had a great time coloring this, definitely relaxing. And if you want to see more videos like this, definitely let me know and I'll see what I can do. So in the meantime, thank you so much. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.